Thank you for joining us today. Just comment where are you from, and then we can begin the webinar. Hi, Arthur, Balaji, Fatima, Lawrence. Just comment where are you from, and we can begin the webinar. Hey, Lawrence. Hey, Pooja. Hey, Ramesh. Hi, Sahil. Hey, Sahil. Sahil is from Delhi. Ramesh is from Hyderabad. Hey, Shankar, Mumbai. We're from the same city. Balaji from Chennai. Awesome. Lawrence is from US and Fatima is from East Africa. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in from the different parts of the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this webinar. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for yet another episode of PitchGround Product Webinars, where we bring in amazing products. And this webinar is all about another incredible product. So stay tuned. I'm very excited for this today's launch and product show. Let me know if you're also excited like me. Type yes in the chat box and we can get started. All right. Yeah, everyone is super excited. We are also super excited to begin this webinar, and we have two amazing guests with us. So before we start, let me give you the brief introduction about the product. You can predict customer success and you keep losing customers. It's hard to keep up with the fast-paced changes in the market. And it's even harder typing to predict customer success. Most companies tend to lose a lot of customers because they cannot keep up and ever-changing needs of their clients, right? So we have a solution for you, that is Qualetics. So hello guys, this is your host Swapnil, and we have Sumant, CEO of Qualetics, and Mike, CCO of Qualetics. Sumant and Mike, if you can just take a moment to introduce yourself and share your entrepreneur journey before we get started, that would be fantastic.
Great, Sahil. Thank you so much. Hope I'm able to, my audio is okay. So,
yes, perfect.
Awesome. Thanks. So very happy to be here. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, Swapnil and PitchGround and Udit. My name is Sumant Fakada, and I'm the founder and CEO of Qualetics Data Machines. Qualetics has come out of my own experience. So I have been a software programmer for the last maybe 25 years. And I have built so many products in like different domains, from industrial to e-learning to healthcare IT to management consulting. The one thing that I noticed as a common thread across all those companies, all those products over the last 25 years was that data, the usage of data, the consumption of data, the production of data, the reaction to data has all gone up over the last 25 years. And the other common thread across all these products that I work with is it is always a challenge for software product teams to build a product and also build a data-enabled infrastructure that can help develop their product. It's always a challenge. People have to choose between, do we build our product or do we work on our data infrastructure? And always the data infrastructure falls behind because the product is always the more important one. So we had the same experience. I had the same experience. And using that experience as the foundation, we built a platform that helps other product companies, other companies like what you have in better understanding your product, your customers, your software, so that you can build great products, you can have amazing customer service, and you can always make sure that you can have a peaceful sleep at night, knowing that your software is working well. So that is underlying motivation behind developing Qualetics. And so that is my background. I'm a technologist, and I'll pass it over to my co-founder, Mike, who we have a long journey of working together. So Mike, it's all yours.
Thank you, Sumant. Yes, we do have a long journey, a long, very pleasant journey. Sumant and I have known each other for the last 8 or 9 years, and we've worked in a couple of other companies before Sumant had this idea to start Qualetics. We've always been focused on software as a service platforms. And with all of the energy and enthusiasm around AI, but all of the disappointing results companies have had in trying to deploy it properly, we focused first and foremost on establishing a platform that simplifies all the processes of ingesting the data that you want to analyze, optimizes the ability to analyze all of the data that's streaming in. And then we simplify the process of delivering the analyzed results, either to your audience or directly into your products. So the analyzed results can supplement the value you're delivering to your customers. And our first off-the-shelf product that we've launched is our software quality analytics solution, which Swapnil, you referred to. And it's all designed around helping companies be more proactive about improving their customer experience by understanding how their software is being used and understanding how their users are responding to it. So with that, I'm in Michigan in the States. Sumant is coming to you from New Jersey, and we love the international roster of attendees. So
Yeah.
we'll get started.
Awesome, awesome. So as you said, like you both are sharing the 9 years of journey together. So before the Qualetics, came into an existence, we would like to hear the story of that as well. If you're comfortable sharing with us.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. So Mike and I used to work in a company called Smart Pros. It's basically it's a company that provides online learning solutions for big corporations. We had really the who's who of large corporations as the customers. And in that company, I was the technical head. I was heading the technology team and building the software and platform. And Mike was on the business side. He was in charge of business development and customer relationships. And some of the problems that we are trying to solve now, the genesis of those ideas were from Smart Pros, because we were constantly it was a growing platform, so we were adding people left and right, but at the same time we were also trying to modify the product. So with that combination, we were seeing issues day after day. Every day customers were complaining. Many were happy, some were not happy. So we were constantly trying to fight that fires. And that's where Mike and I had the most amount of interaction together, because Mike was on the business side, trying to make sure that we show our best face forward to them, and he was bringing over the business concerns over to the technology team where I was working, and then we had the interaction there regularly. So we had many successes, and Mike will tell you about a platform that we built there. And we after that, I went on to do another work at another company in the pharmaceutical sector. And Smart Pros was later acquired by a company called Kaplan, which many of you might be familiar with. It's a learning provider. And we both came back to Kaplan again there. And after Kaplan is when we had, after Kaplan, I decided to start a company, and then we said, let's work together, and that's what Qualetics formed.
Awesome. Thank you. That is an inspirational journey that you're sharing so far, right? The problem that you have identified and the solution that you're building, and you have already built the solution, right? So that's the incredible story that you have shared. Thank you so much for sharing your journey of your entire journey of sharing the technology side and so working. Awesome. So guys, we will have a question and answer sessions at the end of the webinar, and yes, giveaway as well. So be there and stay tuned. I think it's time to dive into the product itself, and we are really excited to learn more about it. If you can just share your screen and let's introduce and showcase the product to everyone, that would be great.
Sounds good, Swapnil. So what I'll be doing is I'll take probably 5 to 6 minutes to do a quick introduction. I'll go through a very simple slide deck. I know everybody's in love of slide decks, so I want to I want to show a little bit of it, and then I won't take too much time. I'm kidding. And then I'll go on to describe the problem statement and then how Qualetics can help, and then I'll show an example of how the integration can work. And then after that, of course, we can have the question and answer session.
Awesome. Let's begin.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Oops. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Let me minimize this. So as we were talking earlier, Qualetics is meant for supporting other technology companies, startups, small businesses, or mid to small to medium and large companies in adopting and scaling analytics and AI-based solutions. We see the need for analytics because analytics drives 6 to 12% of direct indirect gains in revenue. Basically, it helps companies grow by either improving their products, improving their customer service, or identifying new options for increasing revenue for the business. Why is this a problem that we decided to solve? Is because, as I was mentioning earlier, companies always have to choose between whether they want to build their product or whether they want to build a supporting infrastructure that helps their product. And most often, the product trumps everything. In the recent past, data analytics and AI is becoming the bigger need for companies in helping them grow. But then many companies don't have the infrastructure or people or the skills to implement a robust data analytics and AI background or a foundation to help them. What they do instead is like they invest in POCs or they invest in small projects which don't hold up to the test of time or the project. And usually those kind of projects fail. So that is why there is a high risk of failure and companies can't invest more. And but rather than waste money there, they can probably depend on people that are doing this on a day-to-day basis, and that would be people like us, where we can come in and help you avoid that kind of expensive resources, expensive infrastructure, and provide you with a very simple solution that you can plug into your solution and then improve your product. How does Qualetics differ from other products? Basically, like, we are built for scale. We have perfected the implementation of ingesting data, analyzing data, and providing you the insights so that no matter whether you're a small company or you're a big company, you can plug in our solution and then you can use it as per your need. There is a common misconception that analytics is only for companies that have a lot of data, but that misconception is getting wiped out. And even small companies can use data. There's a new term we coined called small data. Basically, if you're a small company and you're looking to grow, then data is your backbone to help you grow. Okay.
Right.
Now to come back to the topic of this webinar, we want to understand. Most of us here on this webinar, I'm hoping, are either SaaS owners or people that are working in a SaaS company trying to build product. So when you're building a data-driven product, what are the things that you want to do? What are the best practices that you should follow to build a data-driven product? We've devised a mechanism for that, a methodology for that. And what we say is, in order to build a data-driven solution, you need to know your software, you need to know your customer, and you need to know your product. Right. When we say your software, we are talking about the underlying technology that is powering your application. It can be a web application, it can be a mobile application, it can be running on a server, or it can be running on a shared environment. But it's the underlying software that is powering your application. Then you need to know who your customer is. What are they doing? How much time are they spending? Where are they coming from? Where are they dropping off? All those things are where you need to know your customer. And then finally, the product is where this is different from the software, because you could be selling an e-commerce product, or you could be selling a ride-hailing app, or you could be selling a food delivery app. Those are your products. They depend on the software, but though ultimately the product is the service that you're selling. You need to know how your product is doing in front of your customers. Are customers using the product as you designed it, or are you finding new pathways where you should be investing more time in improving those or stabilizing those? So in a SaaS company, you need to be measuring your software capabilities, your customer performance behavior, and your product performance also.
Right. Understanding these three aspects is important in the business, right? First of all, you need to understand what you're building, what problem that you're solving, right? And the customers, the prospects. Until and unless you have the clarity of your prospects to whom you're, for whom you're building the product or the solution, you cannot scale up, right? And the product that you need to build, you're going to build, that has to be a market fit enough, Yeah,
Exactly.
these are three important key metrics of every business. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, so many companies, so many software companies, typically what happens is you start with the thesis and you start with a small pilot or a POC or a prototype, and then you build it and then you put it into the market. And that is the most crucial step where you need to measure. That is where you're validating whether your product is a hit or whether you need to make some changes to your product. And unfortunately, many companies or many startups don't invest much time in doing a data-driven analysis of that particular stage, which then leads to expensive failures. So in fact, if you're a startup and you're launching your product and you're launching your business, that is actually the most important point where you need more data to make sure that you're spending your efforts in the right direction.
So instead of building a complete product, anyone can launch an MVP stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you can gather the product feedbacks and lot of inputs from the customers, from the prospects, and you can develop it accordingly, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And if you look at the screen, I won't go through all these questions, but you can understand that each of these three boxes represent different areas of the software application. One represents the software, one represents the product, and the other represents users. And these are the most common kind of questions that you will be asking yourself as a SaaS product owner at any given point of the day. And if your answers are not backed by data, then you are taking a chance on your business. So that is why it's important that if you have any of these kind of questions in your business coming up, then it is important to invest some time or some effort into understanding these aspects so that you can build a better product, you can build a better software application, and you can engage with your users better. I'll go to the next slide. And so coming to how Qualetics can help SaaS, as Mike was saying earlier, we've built this platform where if you have any of the questions that you are asking in the previous slide, many times you depend on a combination of different tools. You use an error tracking tool to understand errors. You use an web analytics tool to understand your users, and you use a product analytics tool to understand your product analysis. And for customer success, you pretty much depend on customers calling and complaining about issues they're facing. So that creates like silos of information inside any company. If it's a small company, obviously there's a smaller number of people, but in a large company, you have silos of information that is sitting only with one team. Where we come into picture is where we've built a platform that tries to bring every part of the company onto the same round table. So here we have a round table where you have people from the product management, you have people from software development, you have customer success team, and then you have the IT team, all sitting focused on the one person that is extremely important, which is the customer. So that is where we want to make sure that the Qualetics platform is providing the best value for companies to provide the most valued service and the most value for the customer's money when they're buying their product. And how do we do this? We provide a platform, as we were saying earlier, that helps you embed our API into your product so that you can react to customer issues proactively, and you can basically analyze all your data on one platform, and you're not spending time analyzing your data, you're spending time reacting to that data, improving your product, improving your software, and then engaging with your customer. And we offer the different types of analytics. Software quality analytics is a prime usage of our platform. We offer performance analytics. We offer product analytics. We offer the ability for you to embed these analytics back into your own product. We have built predictive and prescriptive insights, and we are continuing to add more to this. And we'll also offer business analytics for companies that want a certain type of business insights or business analytics for their need. An example is an e-learning company that provides learning solutions for corporate customers. We provide e-learning focused insights for that company. And similarly, that can be a healthcare company, it can be a transportation company or anything. All of that, again, is part of the same platform that you can use to improve your service. And not only that, what we are going to be launching very soon is going to be NLP-based insights for real-time sentiment analysis. When you have customers putting in feedback on your product in your application, or let's say your product has your software has product review section, or it has a comment section. This platform allows you to see that data analyzed in real time, and you can always have a pulse of what your users are saying on your platform at any given time, and understand whether it's a positive sentiment, negative sentiment, or what are the trending words that are adding to that kind of emotions. We also are going to be coming up with insights for search. So if your product has search capabilities, you can see at any given point of time in real time, what are people searching for in your app? What are the trending search words? Which results are ranking the best and which results are driving the most engagement? So that again, you can have a very good under pulse of like what is happening in your app, and then you can give the best experience possible for your customers. And then we also have a real-time activity view that is going to be launching soon, where you can in real time see what your users are doing, specific users are doing with performing specific actions. Now, before I jump into the demo, Swapnil, was there anything that you would like to ask or add at this point?
No, we are good to go ahead. Guys, if you have any questions regarding the information that we are sharing and the platform that we are going to explore it now, so please ask your questions. The Q&A session would be happy to answer all your questions and the doubt regarding the platform. Thank you. Yeah, over to you, Sumant.
Great, thanks. So what I'll be doing next is I'll be showing examples of applications and how I can be integrating Qualetics into those applications. Okay. So the first application that I would like to talk about is basically a social publishing platform, which is basically a test platform that we built ourselves to demonstrate. And then basically what happens on this platform, on this application is you will have people coming in, posting content, or posting, reacting to content, or reacting to the authors, or following, unfollowing. There could be any number of actions. This is not a real site; it's a test site, but this is something that we are using to demonstrate. Another example, another site is our Qualetics website, where this is our public website where people come in and look at data. And the other site that we have is a documentation site, which is built on a tool that PitchGround is very familiar with. It's built on HP. And this is the documentation site where we are providing information to our users on how to integrate with Qualetics. Now, the reason I'm showing all these three applications is because I want to be able to track the activity on these applications. For example, I want to know what is the activity on my social media application. I want to know I want to know what the activity is on my public website. I want to know what the activity is on my documentation site.
Right. So it's not limited to any of the specific niche. You can implement the software solution from any Qualetics on any of the application or the website niche, right? So
exactly.
Yeah. Awesome.
And what I'm not showing here is also if I had a mobile application, like let's say I had a mobile app for this social media platform, okay, I can implement Qualetics on that mobile app also. So awesome. I would have the same SDK implemented on all these applications for implementing the APIs.
Okay, for example, I have a web app and I have a application, the native application like iOS or Android. So can be the data will be synced together, or I can see the data from different platforms.
You can see the data from different platforms, and then if you have the same common identifier for the users, we can even sync the data of a user journey from the different platforms. So now, great. Now, given that context, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to set up Qualetics for this. So what I would typically do is, for our customers, we provide the you can go to Qualetics sign up, and then you can, let's say you can, choose to have an integration mechanism, and then you can enter the details. And one of the important things here is every customer of ours can get their own preferred domain. So in this case, because I'm integrating this application here, I'll just say diaramble.qualetics.com, and I'll have a portal set up for Diaramble. And every customer is going to have a dedicated storage space and a dedicated database for their data. This is truly a multi-tenant platform where we take security and privacy very seriously. So every customer's data is separate and distinct and encrypted for their needs. So this is where a customer would sign up. If you are getting a limited lifetime deal from PitchGround, you would enter that coupon here, and then you would fill out all this information, and then you can, when you would complete the setup and then launch the portal. When this happens, the portal will be launched. It usually takes anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes to set up the portal and the database, and after that you're free to use it. So in this case, I've already done the setup, so I'll go straight to that portal. So I'll go to diaramble.qualetics.com.
Awesome. So every customer will get the subdomain for their business or for their agencies, right, to log in. So that's
Yes,
pretty fantastic.
exactly.
Awesome.
So in this case, I've gone to diaramble.qualetics.com, and I'll be taken to a secure login page, and I'll know this. And as soon as I log in, our default landing page is going to be our software quality analytics page. On this page, you will see a number of different metrics, but all these metrics are actually coming from the applications that I've connected into. And I'll show you how to connect into those applications. But on this page, what we are seeing is basically an overall view of all the applications that I've connected. If you look at the top left corner, where it says client instances, you'll see that I have Diaramble Mobile, I have Qualetics documentation, I have Qualetics Web, and then I have the dev.diaramble.com website that I've just showed. I have set up all these applications in my platform. And then what you're seeing here, all these insights are a collection of insights for all these applications together. And if I want to narrow down to any one application, I'll simply go in and say, and then filters down data to that particular app. I also have the another distinction for application, which says, which is basically like an application corresponding to each client instance. And I can filter down to that application as well. What you're seeing on this screen is basically a collection of software quality metrics. The most important thing is the quality index. This is the hardest thing to measure in a software application. This is what this is doing is basically it is running continuously. It is assessing your application's performance and stability in real time. Every time a user goes to this web application, for example, if they goes to the application, they perform an activity. If they're encountering an error, that error is captured. Many of the website errors are automatically captured, but you can also capture custom errors. All of that information is captured, and what that does is it adds to the calculation. So on what the scale is showing me is that on a scale of -5 to +5, my performance or my quality index is a 3. Ideally, I should be as close to 5 as possible, but right now I am 3, which is like between 70 to 80%. And how that is broken down. If you click on it, you will see that it shows me what are the types of errors that are occurring. Most of them are minor. It shows the number of users that are impacted. I have like 8 users impacted, which is why my score is somewhere around the 50%. How frequently are the errors occurring? What are the features that are impacted? And on your overall, how many issues are getting captured in a given time frame? All these add up to the score that you're seeing on this page. Not only that, you also can see who are the specific users that are impacted on any given day, and how frequently are errors occurring on your application.
Can we export the customer's data as well?
You can. And the more I'll go into that also. And then also one of the things is, Another thing that is very hard to measure and constantly keep track of is your application performance on different devices. Here, what this insight shows you is like, it shows me that 5.1% of issues are coming from Chrome browser, on an Apple device. But the rest of the issues are coming from other Windows devices. So this actually helps your QA team a lot by allowing them to focus on the areas on the devices, testing methods, for the ones that are being heavily in use.
I like that UI part.
This one?
Yeah. That.
Great, thank you. And then we some of the tasks, when I'm building software applications, for me it's important to understand what times of the day are users using my application and what times of the day are they having different types of issues. So this exception calendar shows me the usage in a calendar block. So each row is a day in the week, each column is an hour on that day. So it shows me like when are people using the application and what kind of errors they are occurring, who is getting the errors. And the darker the color, the more severe or the more serious the number of issues are.
Awesome.
And I would like to show one more thing. So as I was mentioning, some of you might ask, okay, these insights are great, but what is the AI part? So to that, I would say that, if you scroll down, we have a real-time AI engine running that is constantly assessing every single issue that occurs in your application. So if you see here, right now on our public website, there is a small bug, but that bug is occurring for every single user that is visiting our application. So that is why you can see that 2 minutes ago when I went to the website, it captured that error and it ranked that as critical because it needs to be fixed. It is affecting every user, so it needs to be fixed. There are other issues also that are occurring, but those are deemed minor by our AI engine. It is able to do this because every single action by every single user is constantly tracked, analyzed, and what it adds up to is it adds up to what we call a page rank and error rank. So the pages that are heavily in use or the objects that are heavily in use will get a higher ranking versus the ones that are not in use. In this case, the error is occurring on the home page, which is why this is tracked as a critical error. And if I click on the UI, it tells me exactly what sequence people took to get to that error. So in this case, if you see, it's only 3 steps. When people come to our website, they go to the page, and then boom, the error happens. So which indicates that it needs something that we need to immediately take care of. This can be like 10 steps. This can be 20 steps. It can also be 1 step where this issue happens. So this is important for a software team or a product team to know when errors are occurring, who's getting impacted, and how are they getting impacted.
And in this example, this portion of our dashboard screen with issues observed, this is the equivalent of by embedding the Qualetics software into your application. This is making your software intelligent enough to report whenever a user has an issue. So instead of what most companies do is they rely on the customer service log to indicate where there are problems. This is making your software intelligent to report to you every problem that's coming. And instead of contacting this user and asking them, can you tell me what you were doing when that error occurred? And can you tell me what browser were you using and what hardware were you using? It's all right here, step by step, every step they took. You can look at what their hardware and software was, and it helps you drill into what the resolution needs to be without having to impose on your user to explain everything that they did.
Awesome. I'm pretty overwhelmed by seeing the in-depth insights and metrics that Qualetics is showing. It's incredible, guys. Incredible.
Thank you, Swapnil.
As a person that's been historically in a position of working with Sumant and taking customer feedback to Sumant so that we can improve our products, this makes that whole process easier. The kind of behavior that you want to have to be successful is listening to your customers and taking their advice on how to improve things. This automates that process.
Yeah. I
And
can relate to the problem. I'll share one problem that I have already experienced in few days before. Right, one of my friend is running an e-commerce website, right? And what has happened is one user was continuously facing a problem while making a payment. Right, he goes to the payment page, and the payment page automatically get refreshed, and the product is added in his cart, and without paying anything he can buy the product. Right, and luckily that person has informed to the customer support, and my friend has attended that call. Okay, he was saying like, okay, I've added two products in my cart, and without paying anything, it's been added, and I just received those. Right, so it's a critical issue, right? If this kind of things are happening in your business, with you are losing that money. Right, it's an important and very critical aspect of your business. And
And
then he started probing what browser you're using, what was the time, and whether you're using a phone or desktop or laptop, what was your time zones, and blah blah blah, so many things. So after getting to know all these things, what he's going to do? Nothing, right? Because he do not have anything in place to track those metrics, track those actions and the errors, right? So this kind of solution is, breathtaking for all those issues. And I'm open. I do not have any words. I can't express myself, because the problem that I have seen him, I was assisting him to resolve that problem, even though I could not be able to solve it because I don't know what was the reason behind it, right?
And your story was triggered because one of the users was nice enough to take it on themselves to reach out and explain all this. And it allowed you to react. So it kicked in your reactive influences. But what companies really should try to do is be proactive and to try to address these things. Because I can promise you, the CEO of that company, if he heard about that scenario, he probably would be losing a little sleep, wondering how many users are getting free products without paying
Right.
for it. So.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a very similar issue happened in another company that I worked for, where somebody went to the shopping cart and they bought so they were trying to buy a product. They put in their credit card information. They this time they actually paid for it, but they didn't get the product. So they they had no indication what was happening. So just on the safe side, they tried 5 more times. So they got charged 5 times for the same product without even actually getting the product. And the person did not even realize that this happened until they got the bill for the credit card 1 month later. So 1 month later, when that person finally called the customer service, it took like 2 people, the entire 2 days to figure out what went wrong, where, and how many other users were impacted during that time. So it was such a big nightmare that they had to refund a bunch of money that they actually thought was sales. And, and then on top of it, they had to spend even more time in resolving that issue. Having something like this.
Another thought about this is the kind of AI intelligence that people most associate with very large, technically mature companies. The people that need this most are the smaller companies and the startups who are trying to anticipate errors before it becomes a problem, before they start scaling up as a business. So this is a particularly good product for small companies and startups who are needing to monitor their advancing utilization. And early on, when they're really trying to work through all of the buggy behavior as quickly as possible. And this allows that to happen. It allows you to get your product scaled up and more error-free faster than if you're relying on reactionary processes.
Perfectly said.
And as we are running out of time, so I'll just quickly move to the other areas. So that was what you saw there was software quality analytics, which is purely focused on your software metrics, which is different from your application performance metrics, where if your application performance metrics, you're looking at your CPU, you're looking at your memory, you're looking at your servers and all that stuff. But 9 out of 10 times, all of that could be working perfectly fine, but your users could still be having issues. So this captures that other side of the software performance that is not captured by application performance monitoring. Then we come to product analytics, which talks about how your product is actually being used. So in this case, what I'm looking at is, again, like a master view across all the entire platform. If I want to narrow down to, let's say, the publishing side, then I can narrow down to it. And then I can see, like, how many people are using the application, where are they coming from, what is the user behavior flow. If I click on it, for example, it shows me how people are navigating through the site. Every time you see this red color, that's an error. Other actions are custom actions. You'll see that, you'll see who, when people click on a favorite, that is tracked. When people click on unfollowing, that is tracked. All this action is tracked. And the other thing, going back to your question, Swapnil, is, okay, this is a visual view. What if I want to see a more detailed view? Then I simply go into the advanced view, and that loads this data with more capabilities where I can add advanced filters here. Or I can look at this data in a tabular format, where it gives me all this information also. Not only that, we provide a number of features for you to make this more interactive. If I forgot to mention, Qualetics allows you to set up your company and your team members, so you can interact with your team in this platform, where you can add comments to convey information to your other team members, and you can embed this view in other applications. You can share this insight with other users of your team. You can, let me just spend a minute on this feature. So subscribe is where, let us say, this information is being presented, but it again requires a constant action from you in coming and like checking all this information. But what if you want the system to watch it for you? That's what the subscribe feature does, where you can go in and set up specific conditions where you want to watch whether a certain user type or a certain device type or some anything like a certain page URL is being hit, or a certain article is being hit. You can put in that condition here and you subscribe, and the system is watching that information for you, so that when that condition is met, it automatically alerts you on that information on the subscriptions page.
It's kind of events-based action we can track.
Yes, exactly. Everything that we design on this platform is event-based. So that is the other thing, where we designed our API in a way that no matter what your application is built on, whether it is C#, JavaScript, Angular, Node, you can use our API, because we don't really care how your database is built. We've designed the platform in an event-based format, so your software events are being tracked instead of your actual database.
Okay, I have a quick question out of here. As you said, like irrespective of the platform, irrespective of the language of your website, the Qualetics is gonna track. So can Qualetics track the WordPress data as well? For example, it has the REST API.
Yes, it can. So our website, our public website is where is this? Yeah, this is a WordPress site. I've done a simple JS integration here. That is how I'm able to see that error that I was showing you earlier. But I can also implement a REST API based integration on the PHP pages, which track even the deeper interaction on the site. Did that answer your question, Swapnil?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. And then the other important feature is we want to make this data actionable. We just don't want to present this information in a dashboard. So we provide an API-based integration also, where you can pull this data in a visual format or in a raw format into your own application. So that if you want this view, for example, for any particular reason in your application, you can use our API. If you want the raw JSON backed data that is part of this, you can get that also through the same API. So that way, within your application, you can use our API to react to the data instead of so your applications itself are reacting to data rather than you looking at data and then trying to trying to do something in your application.
Pretty solid.
And not only that, the error inference algorithm that runs, that is actually doing the inference on our application, which is this part. This is also available as an API, so that you can, if you're a developer and you want to play with that, you can actually embed this error inference algorithm as an API in your code, so that whenever an error occurs, this algorithm will determine whether it is a critical error or a minor error, and then react appropriately. So if it's a critical error, you may want to escalate that to your customer support team or your product head. If it's a minor error, then maybe show them an alternative mechanism of resolving that. But basically, you can embed this API so that you are making your product much more smarter and much more proactive, rather than waiting for a customer to call and say, okay, I'm having an issue. This time you'll actually know what the issue is and say, we got you covered, basically.
That subscription feature, if you're not staring at this dashboard 24 hours a day, the subscription feature will reach out and tap you on the shoulder with an email or a message to let you know that a critical error occurred if you didn't happen to be sitting here watching it.
Awesome.
Okay.
So we'll be getting,
course,
sorry to interrupt you, we'll be getting notified on email, and is there any Slack integration as well, so that people will be notified on Slack? Because
we are working on Slack. Yeah,
okay.
we right now it is limited to email, but we are working on a Slack integration that should be launched very soon.
Okay, because most of the organizations and the small and the big companies as well using Slack as a communication tool.
Correct. Yes. That should be launched very soon. So hopefully by the time we do the next webinar, maybe we'll do a Slack demo also.
Awesome.
And then of course we have different. So as this is meant for organizations. So as organizations, you can create different views and different slices of data, and then you can create your own dashboards for your own view, and you can set up any page of this as your own default homepage. So right now I've set up this client activity dashboard as my homepage, so that whenever I log in, I land on this page instead of going through all the other pages also. So there's all of these functionalities that are available. And I also want to say, you can explore the entire functionality of this application by signing up for a trial also, and exploring this if anybody wants to do that before converting as a paid customer, so that you can experience all this functionality yourself and then move forward.
Awesome. I'll reiterate again, guys. Qualetics is offering 30 days, right? 30 days. 30 days free trial. Go and check it out. The super product that they have built. I'm really impressed with the data and the analytics and the insights that Qualetics is sharing with us. It's required nowadays, because we are just tracking the visitors, right? We are doing A/B testing, we are tracking visitors, but there is no use of these things. For example, you don't know the in-depth what is the core issue, right? The example that we shared, the example that I shared, that the person was not able to understand what is the core problem, why that person is not able to, without paying, how that person is getting that downloadable product, right? So this is the core issue that we need to identify. Instead of we are just tracking how many visitors are visiting our website, and what landing page is working fine, which landing page is not working fine. So that are the those has to be tracked, but this is a critical aspect that we need to track in depth, right? So this is a solid product that Qualetics has built, and I'm impressed.
Thanks, Swapnil. And then it's not limited to just applications that you write code for, even like I said, WordPress site, or for example Archbee. Like for example, an Archbee, they provide you with an option to embed custom code. So what we did is we just simply generated the credentials, and then we implemented the API here. So that's as simple as that. Once I embed the API, the script here, it's starting to track what people are doing on my documentation site also. And then in order to set up, basically like you basically go into the account setup process, and then you can set up the client instance, meaning the application that the instance that you want to track. So in this case, I've set up like 4 different applications: one for the website, one for the mobile application, one for the publishing platform, one for the documentation site. then I would set up the client instances. In this case, you would have either a single client if you're a B2C company, or you'll have multiple customers if you're a B2B company. In both cases, you would set up the client instances. And then once you set up the client instances, you would go in and select the application client instance, get the credentials, and then you can integrate with using any of our SDKs, JavaScript, Angular, React Native, REST API, and Android. We will be adding C# as well as iOS very soon. And all of this information is available on our documentation site.
Awesome. So we can manage, if you are an agency and if you want to manage your clients, so this is a pretty good solution for you. You can give the services along with the other services that you're going to provide to your client, right? Because this is a pretty expensive solution, and you can charge hefty fees from your, from your clients and the customers. Because I have not seen, frankly, I'm speaking, I have not seen this kind of solution as of now. Right.
Exactly.
Even though there are some solutions in the market, but the in-depth data that I'm seeing right now in front of me, I'm not seeing any of the solution and the platform.
If you are a software development shop or just a person that develops software for other corporate businesses around, if you embed this into any of the products before you hand it over to your client, then you can also tell your client, hey, for only this much money a month, I will monitor its utilization and its effectiveness, and I will notify you when I'm detecting a pattern of any aberrant behavior or any defective behavior, so that I can help you maintain it proactively instead of just turn it over to you and now you have to try to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so it allows you to maintain a long-term connection with your clients and offer a very valuable service to them.
And Swapnil, to your comment about agencies, let's say you're an agency that has n number of customers. You can provide your customers their own access, so that your customers can log in and see the analytics of their websites, and you can charge them a fee for that also. So basically, you can set up users for the different accounts. And then when you set it up, like for example, this is a customer, you can set up the account for that customer. When they log in, they'll only see data for their account. So if you're an agency, this is actually another way for you to provide a more value-added expensive add-on service for your customers, for being able to present them the data activity.
So, because everybody's providing website development services, social media services, and paid ad services, PPC, and all that stuff, right? But I did not see any agencies are providing this kind of services, right? So this would be an additional and can be a profitable niche for you guys to if you are getting into it. And awesome, that can be a side hustle as well if you're going to provide a tracking mechanism for the apps and different sort of image businesses. Then you can start a side hustle as well after getting this deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way you can actually make money out of this deal, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ask your customer to pay you for this monitoring service, and then as you're monitoring it, if you see, for instance, if it's an app and a new OS version has created some kind of a bug, then you can give them a statement of work for fixing that bug. But you found out about the bug and the defective behavior by them paying you to monitor it for them.
Right.
So it allows you to stay connected and have a continuous flow of additional revenue by delivering additional value.
Because you will be knowing the actual problem, right? And you can provide the solution, right? That would be a second.
Probably before any of their users report it to them.
Right.
It's all about being proactive, and you would be the developer that is presenting a proactive solution that has intelligence built into it, instead of the classic, I'm delivering code to you and let me know if you need anything else later.
Right.
So Swapnil, we have a few questions, I think, coming up. So
we can take those questions.
Okay, so please go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We have one question from Joginder who was asking, do I need to add a JavaScript library to my site for this? There are multiple options. If you go to our documentation site, we provide different SDKs. JavaScript is one of them, which is actually the simplest method of integration. And it's basically like a two-line integration where you can integrate the API, and then you can decide what you want to track. You can track the user locations, you can track the activity, the application version. You can, by default, the clicks, performance measurement, and error capturing are set to false, but you can turn that on if you want to.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other question. Another question from
we have
Gerard.
a second question coming up. Yeah, please take that question.
Yeah, so the question is, does it have any speed impact on the site with the continuous monitoring? No, because we, as you can see, we have implemented it on our application and it's running continuously. And the way this is built, it's built on a very lightweight protocol that is actually meant for IoT devices. So we've taken something that should work for IoT devices that run on like extremely low bandwidth and battery power, and then adapted it for our API. And this is basically like one-way streaming. And with a single cluster, we can handle up to 250,000 messages per second. That is how fast and lightweight this API is. So, and there is zero impact to the performance of the site when you integrate this into your application. The REST API is basically like is an integration where you have to depend on a request response cycle. So that may be slightly slower than the other types of integration, but our standard recommended integration is using any of these other JavaScript, Angular, React, or React Native, which is extremely lightweight and super efficient when it comes to streaming the data.
Right. So guys, if you have any more questions, please ask us so that we can resolve all your questions regarding to the platform, regarding to the features, and any other options that we have just demonstrated. Please comment those in the Q&A section. We will be happy to answer all your questions and the queries. So I think so we have done all the questions. If you have anything, please shoot us in the Q&A section before we wrap up this amazing webinar. Guys, this is a solid tool. I'm continuously saying that I'm impressed, I'm really impressed. Because big or small data is valuable if you act on it quickly, right? The problem with big data is that it's too big and you can possibly watch all the channels, track all the interactions, and promptly analyze the data. You cannot take the actions there and there itself because it's too big. Sometimes if you have a big data, right? If you're a big agency or a big company or big organization, and even though if you're running a small business, small site, a lot of interactions happening on your site, and if you want to start tracking each and every interactions and want to take action on it, it's a hectic job, right? You cannot do that. And if you now you need to implement AI in your business, but sometimes we do not have time, money, and resources, and we cannot do it ourselves, right? Because of the restrictions of the business and because of the other aspect that we need to see it, right? So implementing AI can be a daunting task. That's the reason we need a solution like Qualetics, wherein you need to find the right platform and the team, but you also need to make sure that your data is ready for the AI. And Qualetics offers a single AI platform that can drive multiple AI initiatives across your enterprises. And I'll give you a few insights that why you have to go for Qualetics over the other products which are available in the market. Because they're using a self-learning algorithm. The platform analyzes all activities and informs the customer proactively, that we have already seen, right? Instead of waiting, that problem should arises, you are getting that problem notification proactively when users experiences any issue to improve engagement and prevent any churn in the business, right? One central monitoring system for all of the customers' software application being used in various software and hardware system to improve to help improve application stability across the user base. And it has an awesome UI and UX, and the founders are also responsive enough, right? And very mature software that I can say, and it's an enterprise grade software. It's not a small tool to analyze and track your data. It's an enterprise level software. People are paying hefty fees because a lot of big organization, e-commerce store are paying thousands of dollars per month to analyze this kind of data. And you are getting this deal from the PitchGround.com in very affordable, with a very affordable price tag. Let me share my screen and let me show you the plans and pricing that we are offering from the PitchGround.com. Please go ahead and check out those, because the value that you're going to get it from the lifetime deals, which is insane, because the quality of the platform, the data that you're getting, and the side hustle that we just discussed, right? You can give the additional services to your clients. Instead of, client is reporting you the problem, you can proactively say that this is the core problem that your platform is facing, and this is my solution to you. So on top of it, you can charge hefty fees from your client, and you can earn a lot of money, right? A lot of money, right? So let me share my screen and showcase you the plans and pricing that we are offering from the pitchground.com. And here we go. I am not getting the option. I don't know why.
I think I need to make you host, maybe.
Maybe. Or else you can share the screen, because you are already sharing your screen. So you can go head over to pitchground.com and showcase the product page of Qualetics.
Sure. Yeah, give me 1 second. Here you go.
Awesome. Just head over to the plans and pricing, go bottom, and we can showcase the plans and pricing. Awesome, guys. See the pricing. The plan A is starting with just $49 for lifetime, right? You need not to pay monthly fees to track the beautiful data of your business, of your application. You just have to pay $49 for lifetime, and the whole suite of tool is yours, right? In the $49 plan, you'll be getting 10 user sets and 3,000 events per day, real-time data ingestions, continuous data analytics, and all the features that we have just now seen, right? And the second plan is plan B, that is growth plan. The value is very, very affordable, $98 for lifetime, in which you will be getting 25 user sets, 10,000 events per day, supports multiple customers, access control of for you users, teams, and user group management, advanced collaboration tool, like you can share, embed, and API access for insights, automated insights, and you'll be getting a 12 months of data retention. And we have another plan if you have, if you want to go for a big plans, that we have that plans as well. So plan C is just $147 for lifetime, in which you'll be getting 50 user sets and 30,000 events per day, and which supports multiple customers, access control for your users, teams, and other management. For example, you can add your clients, and client can see that data, right? And advanced collaboration tool that we have just seen, right? Instead of having conversation out of the platform, there is an option you can come in there, and your team member can see what action needs to be taken on that issue, right? Then we have a plan day. If you want to go for a big plan, that we have a plan day that is $196 for lifetime, ultimate growth plan, in which you will be getting 100 user seats and 50,000 events per day, and supports multiple customer and all the features that we just seen, and the Sumant has demonstrated us. So this is the insane value, and you are getting enterprise level grade software in this affordable price tag. You just have to pay only a one-time fee to access this beautiful software and the masterpiece that they have developed. $49. You can, if you just want to start, you can go for a smaller plan. If you want to upgrade in the future, you can upgrade it, because we are offering 60 days refund guarantee. If you do not like, or if the software is not working for you, you can refund, right? But this is the instant value that you're getting it. And such platforms, I did not see in the past that such platforms are coming on the lifetime deal plan. This is the chance for you to go ahead and grab this insane deal before we wind up the deal, right? So head over to the pitchground.com and grab this beautiful piece of software. Yeah, over to you, Sumant.
Yeah, so Joginder asked a question on chat, so I was just going to respond to that. So he asked if there would be any limit on how many requests per second my site can send. There is no such limit. As I mentioned, our cluster, our ingestion cluster is scalable. We can handle 250,000 messages per second on a single cluster, and we are adding more clusters. So we can handle millions of requests per second. We are actually onboarding a very large customer from India who will have 50 million events generated per day. So you can imagine the scale of a platform that it can handle. So we are ready for scaling that way. And then
Joginder, Swapnil was referring to each of those plans. Each of the plans have different event per day allocations for them. So depending on your volume, you can pick the level of plan that you might want. But there is virtually no technical limitation.
Yes. And then for PitchGround customers, we are also offering a very, let's say you go for the highest plan possible, like 50,000 events per day. And you see that you may need to handle like 50,000 events more than what you had originally planned. For PitchGround customers, we are offering a very extremely lucrative offer of just $10 per month for 60,000 additional events per day. So you can basically double what you're sending with just an additional $10 per month fee. If regardless of what plan you get, that offer is available for everybody also.
Awesome. Thanks for the awesome offer for the PitchGround users. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. If you have any questions regarding the plans and pricing that and the offers that you're getting into each and every plan, just comment us and just shoot your questions regarding to that. And if you have any questions to the platform regards to the platform, please show send your questions in the comment sections. So that would be happy to answer all your questions before we wrap up. Yeah, I think so. No more questions are coming up. Guys, this is enterprise-grade software. Qualetics embeds AI-enabled self-reporting and real-time intelligence into your customer experience, helping you build great products and grow your businesses. If you're still not convinced, you're simply missing out a massive data-driven tool that can easily uplift your revenue by up to 15% with the help of analytics and the AI. Claim your lifetime deal license of this enterprise-grade software Qualetics today. Let me share the link in the comment section so that it would be easier you to click on it and head over to the pricing plan of the PitchGround. Yeah, I just sent it. And guys, please go ahead and check it out, the deal. I would highly appreciate and I highly recommend you to go and check it out, because such kind of deals are not coming on the lifetime deals, and you're getting an amazing piece of software. And thank you so much, Sumant and Mike, for taking your precious time out and sharing some valuable information and demonstrating the tool. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We'll be seeing you in the next webinar. Till the time, take care, be happy, and keep improving 1% every day. Have a good day all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.